These are war crimes!
Shame on you!
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 These are war crimes!
Just a notice I've given to all the rangers and the police on site here at the moment. We just noticed that 3 of the rangers have packed up and, believe it or not, they've skipping down the road holding hands, 3 of them, no lives. Now it could have been a coincidence, we'll have to find out off them, but yeah.
So this is the code of conduct for the island. What's the significance of this? Why do we have this?
Because we're becoming a sovereign nation and we're just trying to change things our way and just bring in our own laws.
All right, we've got an evolving situation here. On Harrison Island, there's been a contingent of people camping out here with the Indigenous elders. They're trying to claim this land as a heritage area, and we're going to find out more about that soon. But the police are all getting ready to move in, as are the council rangers.
They're going to keep committing these war crimes against the people are going to rise and the police either join.
Okay, they're saying they're going to... Okay, this is escalating very quickly. I've just heard the city councilman speak to the head ranger and the police saying, okay, let's wrap it up. Sir, have you got any comment for the independent media?
So I'll refer you to info.city at the City of Perth, wa.gov.au. Contact the City of Perth. We have a media team that can provide you with information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ethnic cleansing, stealing private property, trespassing, harassment, breach of our peace, breach of Pacific Islander Act, it's war crimes.
As you can see, they're getting ready to remove people's property.
So are people allowed to stay here for a picnic?
Not to touch him, he's sick.
No.
We notified them yesterday about war crimes, Nuremberg codes. We notified them that this is our private property, our inheritance.
Right.
We notified that we've got a cooperative, a trading right, and under the international conventions, genocides, things like that, they chose to proceed with war crimes. Disturbance of our peace, ethnic cleansing, stealing our private property. It's 192 years of war crimes, still going.
So did this all escalate when you notified them?
We notified them yesterday, our rights, and and today they proceed and chose to commit these crimes against humanity upon us.
Right, so at the point where you notified them, that's where they decided that they're going to move in.
Yeah. Free will to commit these war crimes under contract. Yeah. This man here served this contract. Removal of tents, structure, camping equipment, vehicles, signage, letterbox. They don't even want us to trade, and that's our international rights. Skip bins, anything hired attached to City of Perth property, and I'm not sure what that says.
Right. And this began when you attempted to register the island with a postcode. Is that where part of this started?
Yeah. They don't want us to trade. They don't want us to have our international human rights, to live at peace on our own inherited land. All their laws are by fraud. These politicians actually legislate imperial acts to commit fraud, to administer our inheritance without our consent, to put us in poverty and to commit war crimes. It's called the Imperial Adoption Act. They did it in 1836. They did it in 1999, 2006, and then the day after my dad got his cooperative registered, they did it the next day. So these legislators that sit in Parliament, these dual citizens, these people that don't represent us, that act under the white Australian policy, administer our inheritance by, legislating these acts to commit fraud. And one of the things that come out of that Imperial Act is if they commit these acts against fraud and the Crown, then the punishment is death. That's an unlawful imperial law that these politicians are using, and they're aiding and abetting, the WA police to commit these war crimes upon us, to administer our ancestral land,
And
breach
that's
all
all you're
human
trying
rights.
to do is just administer your ancestral land?
Got our sovereign rights. Queen Victoria in 1874-75, she's got the Land Transfer Act. She made these provisions where we've got a right to trade, we've got a right to governance our land, we've got a right to equity, a right to our freehold, a right to our inheritance. She made way with this, and all we had to do was get a corporate body or a cooperative, and by law she made way. And she also made, a protection under the Pacific Islander Act. I think it's 1872, 74, 75, Section 7, protection of the tribes. So what you're seeing going on here is the ethnic cleansing group, breaching all our human rights, who's been officially notified of war crimes and who choose to proceed to do these detrimental acts upon our people.
And who's this councilman in the hat over here that's clearly directing everyone? For those who are watching or zooming in on him right now?
He refuses to give his name.
Right.
He refuses to put his name on
the
this
signature.
on the contract for war crimes. He refuses.
Where is he supposed to put his name? That's the recipient.
Authorised
top
ID,
there.
signature.
It should be at the top there for who it's to, and then
It's Greg, surname Martin.
location, email, recipient's first name, surname. But the recipient is the person receiving it.
Well, these people they're just writing all this out, contracting without our consent, pushing their fraudulent bylaws, committing war crimes without our consent. They won't put their names or their IDs on the contract.
I'm going to go over and ask him for his name. Have you asked him for his name yet?
Yeah, he won't give it.
He won't say a word.
Okay, I'm going to go.
He's committing war crimes, so
He
he's got
talks to
every
Greg.
right. This is the actual crime scene proceeding right now.
Excuse me, sir. Can you identify yourself, please? You're obligated to identify
I
yourself.
understand that.
Yeah. What's your name?
I'm an authorised officer under the City of Perth.
Yep.
I've
Do you want to?
identified
No, you haven't.
Yeah,
I
I
haven't
have.
been able to see what your name is.
myself.
Can you tell me your name?
Dean Ball.
Dean Ball.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We asked for a meeting
Yeah.
with the City of Perth for 1 o'clock today.
Yeah.
And this is their response to
Okay.
our request for a meeting, is to bring the police and ask us to leave.
Right.
I'm not sure what the reason is, whether they're saying we can't camp here or whether they just hate us.
The way I understand it, it was the
You probably know
notification of the intent to register the island as a postal code, and that changed a lot of things. Excuse me, sir, have you got any comments about what's going on here at the moment? What's your position in the Rangers service, mate? You can speak, I'm sure you can. Excuse me, sir, have you got any comment?
It's not much really. I think most people probably would have covered it for you now, but
I don't know.
What we have.
How do you
trying
see
to
what
brief-
happened?
How do I see what happened? Well, it was pretty unreasonable. They've sent an email yesterday at about in the morning.
This is Joanna.
Yep, Joanna sent off an email They did not respond at all. They've just come down at 1 o'clock because we've asked for just a meeting.
A meeting,
and they
yeah.
got sent some legal documents which they've just completely ignored, and come down at 1 o'clock and given everyone half an hour to get all their gear, and half the people weren't here. They've gone off shopping and stuff like that.
Right.
So come down with all their stuff. They've already stolen some things. It's already on the back of the truck there.
I saw it.
Yeah.
So who initially turned up? Was it just the council rangers or was it with the police?
With the police. So no, pretty
Right.
much they didn't have the big van over there, but probably similar numbers to what's all here now.
Right.
Right, so the person you need to speak to if you wish to light a fire is the City of Perth representative who's standing just over there, like 100 metres away. So talking to us is of no benefit whatsoever. I've explained to John here, if it gets lit, we're putting it out, but if you want to discuss the matter, the City of Perth representative sitting near the little white car over there in a white shirt, and he's the one you need to speak to.
And this man also knows it's for a ceremonial fire.
Does that make sense? Well, there's literally 0 point talking to me about it. The City
But
of
you're
Perth
here with your
representative.
guns enforcing these laws and the gun trade, aren't you?
I've got a fire extinguisher.
He's a martial law officer.
You got a gun.
If I
You're
went
on
to
war
put-
footing.
if
You're
I
breach
went
of
to
the
put
Pacific
fuel
Islander
in a
Act.
car, I'd dress the exact same
Mate,
way. It's just what we
Mate,
wear.
this is a declaration of war on our peace. You're
Okay.
trespassing on their private property, our
I
inheritance.
suggest the City of Perth representative is the one you speak to.
They commit war crimes. They use unlawful imperial acts to administer our inheritance without our consent. We've never surrendered or signed any treaties.
Speak to the man about
What are
it.
you doing here?
So what has changed in the time of, we had another ceremony here where we had a fire, you were all around. What's changed since that time? This was
You
about
will
6
literally
months
have
ago.
to ask the man in
Do
the
you remember
white
all that?
shirt.
Laws can't be passed so quickly, can they?
Just while we do the smoking farewell, and then we will be gone.
Yeah, but you need permission to light a fire.
We
for
already
local
have,
government
we've
property,
rang
and it's-
the fire brigade already.
It's not DFIS that provides that, it's the local government that provides
Could you
that.
come over and talk to us over here then instead of hiding over here?
Thank everybody for their efforts today. We really appreciate the fact that that went smoothly without incident, and we certainly appreciate that. But the last step in the puzzle, if you like, is we need all of these vehicles removed from the island immediately. So if you're an owner of that vehicle or any of those vehicles, if you make your way over to the vehicle and remove them from the island, that means you can go park them in the car park and come back and gather and have a yarn and do what you need to do. There will be no fire today because permission hasn't been granted by the City of Perth for a fire on local government property. If the vehicles aren't moved within 10 minutes, then we will infringe, and we have tow trucks on standby and they will be impounded. Thanks for your time and thanks for your efforts today, people.
Thanks for the evidence, mate.
That's just, you haven't answered any questions.
Who stole this land? They did! Who owns this land?
We do.
Who owns this land?
We do.
Who stole this land?
They did.
Who stole this land?
They did.
Who stole this land?
They did.
So who owns this land?
We do.
Who owns this land?
We do.
Who stole this land?
They did.
Who stole this land?
They did.
On war footing again.
Any comments, mate? That was epic.
Yeah, we're going to regroup.
Okay, we can just go to
Go over and get our thoughts together and have a little meeting, and then we'll decide what we're going to do after that.
We've got the police and city council members, or some of the police, but mostly city council and rangers on one side, and the people on the other side.
These are war crimes!
Shame on you!
These are war crimes!
Shame on you!
These are war crimes!
Shame
Oh, and they're all dispersing really
These are
quickly.
war crimes!
Shame on you!
These are 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 war crimes!
are war crimes! These are war crimes! These are war crimes! These are war crimes!
That's why you're leaving! Who stole this land? David! Who stole this land? David! Who stole this land? David! Shame on you! These are war crimes! Shame on you! These are war crimes! Shame on you! These are war crimes! Shame on you! Chase on, that's it.
Okay, Greg, mate, it's all done. What do you say? Successful?
Well, we've had war crimes committed against our families again, our living people, our free people. It's not going to deter us from anything for our endeavours for our freedom.
Mate, so this is just the start of it?
This is just the beginning.
Well, it's the ongoing. It's not the beginning, it's the ongoing.
It's ongoing. All First Nation states should be here this weekend. We're having a 3-day summit, and I invite everybody who's free, anybody who wants to be free.
And what's the summit going to entail? What sort of subjects are you going to cover?
Well, we're going to talk about the past suppression, the past committing of war crimes, do some truth telling. People can tell their personal story, their life story, their ancestors' stories. We can talk about the effects of colonisation, what it's done to our families, our land.
What about issues moving forward? Any planning for what you're thinking of doing in the future?
Well, we'll have to regroup and get all our families together, and we'll have a round the table discussion, and then we'll make a decision after that. I can't say too much more than that.
Of course, mate. Thank you.
What basically happened, Greg, was that you guys had been given. I thought you were in some kind of negotiations with the council. They were letting you stay here.
That was they broke that promise and they broke that agreement. And
that's the city of Perth.
That's the city of Perth and their affiliates and their associates and their agents.
And they said you guys could camp here, and more or less now they've came. If they were going to arrest you guys.
Now they've done a backflip of what they said to us earlier on this week and last week and the week before that.
Yeah, so Greg, you've been having regular meetings with that Dean Val, haven't you, over the last few weeks?
Yes, Dean was we had an amicable relationship.
Yeah.
Somehow, he's backflipped and he's changed his relationship with us.
So what sort of assurances had he made to you previously over the last few weeks?
Well, he tried to enforce our council bylaws over us. This is our sovereign land. We also have a cooperative based here. We are the administrators and managers of this island. And it's an insult for him to try and enforce those laws that, in the course of business.
And do you think having the letterbox over there at the gate has created some of the controversy?
My word, it has. This is our trading base.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we conduct our business operations. This is where the flow of business comes in and out. We've served the City of Perth with a secondary boycott provisions back in 2016, and we're following up on that. We sent them an email reinforcing our stance to enforce a secondary boycott.
So the battle over this island has been going for a few years now, eh?
Oh, a number of years, 10 years.
10 years.
Since February of 2012.
Right. Righto, mate. Well, thanks for that, and we'll continue to follow what's going on. Cheers. As you can imagine, it's only a matter of time before